The rain hammered down like 1,000 accusations, turning the cracked asphalt of the diner parking lot into a slick mirror of despair. 8-year-old Lily clutched her father's oil-stained hand, her wide eyes reflecting the flickering neon sign that buzzed open like a dying heartbeat. Jack Harlan, once a king of the racetrack, now a ghost in grease-smeared overalls, stared at the BMW stalled under the awning. Its hood popped like a cry for help. His stomach growled, a traitor to the pride he clung to, as Lily whispered, "Daddy, I'm so hungry." In that moment, with thunder cracking like the crash that stole his world, Jack made a choice that would unravel everything. "Ma'am," he called to the soaked woman fumbling with her phone, "let me fix that beast for you. All I ask is a hot meal for my girl." Jack Harlan wiped the grease from his hands on a rag that had seen better days when his palms gripped a steering wheel at 200 miles per hour, not a wrench under a diner floodlight. The rain had eased to a drizzle, but the chill seeped into his bones, mirroring the emptiness that had settled in his chest 3 years ago. His wife, Sarah, gone in a blur of screeching tires and hospital beeps after a routine drive, turned nightmare. The insurance payout, swallowed by medical bills, his sponsors, vanished like smoke from a burnout. Now, at 38, Jack was a single dad in a rust-belt town called Milford, where dreams rusted faster than the old pickups lining the streets. Lily huddled on a milk crate beside him, her pigtails frizzed from the downpour, coloring a faded picture of a race car with crayons scavenged from the diner's lost and found. She was his anchor, his reason to wake up in their one-room apartment above a laundromat that smelled of mildew and regret. Poverty wasn't just empty pockets. It was the way Lily's teacher eyed him at parent nights, assuming laziness instead of the grief that pinned him down like a jack on a flat tire. Isolation wrapped around them like the fog rolling off the river. Friends from his racing days had stopped calling after the whispers started. Jack's lost it. Can't even keep a job. He'd tried. Mechanic gigs that paid under the table, odd jobs hauling scrap. But every paycheck vanished into rent and ramen, leaving no room for hope. The BMW engine purred back to life under his hands, a symphony of precision he hadn't heard in years. The woman, Elena Vasquez, stepped out from under the awning, her designer coat dripping like misplaced elegance in this forgotten corner of Ohio. Mid-40s, sharp features softened by exhaustion, she ran a high-end catering business in the city, ferrying trays of gourmet despair to the elite who never noticed the help. Tonight, she'd been rushing home from a botched event catered for a senator's fundraiser, only for the power to flicker out mid-toast. Her phone, dead battery, her AA card, expired in the chaos of her own unraveling life. A divorce that left her with alimony fights and a daughter, Mia, who barely spoke since the custody battle scarred them both. Elena watched Jack work, his movements fluid, almost reverent, as if coaxing a wild stallion. "You didn't have to do that," she said, voice laced with the wariness of a city survivor. "I can pay you." Jack straightened, wiping sweat from his brow, his faded tattoo of a checkered flag peeking from his sleeve. "No charge, ma'am, just, my girl's been staring at that pie in the window all night. If it's not too much trouble." Lily's eyes lit up like victory lights, and Elena's resolve cracked. What harm in a meal? She'd been the stranger once, scraping by after her abuela's death, learning that kindness wasn't a luxury but a lifeline. Inside the diner, the air hummed with the sizzle of burgers and the low murmur of truckers nursing coffees. They slid into a vinyl booth, Lily sandwiched between them, her crayons forgotten as a waitress plunked down plates. Meatloaf steaming with gravy, mashed potatoes fluffy as clouds, and apple pie. La mode that made Lily gasp. Elena ordered black coffee, her usual armor, but Jack's quiet gratitude disarmed her. "Name's Jack, this here's Lily. She's my co-pilot. Elena, she replied, stirring sugar she didn't need. Conversation flowed haltingly at first. Weather, the rain's betrayal, then deepened like roots seeking water. Lily chattered about school, her drawings of fast cars like Daddy's stories, and Jack chuckled, a sound rusty from disuse. Elena shared snippets, the ex who called her too ambitious, Mia's silence like a locked door. Jack listened, really listened, his eyes holding a depth that spoke of storms weathered alone. As Lily devoured her pie, ice cream smearing her chin, Elena noticed Jack's hands. Calloused, yet elegant, fingers tracing invisible patterns on the table like shifting gears. You handle engines like an artist, ever race. Jack's fork paused, a shadow crossing his face. Long time ago, different life. He steered away, asking about her business instead. Elena's catering empire masked her own grief. Abandonment by a family that prized machismo over her dreams. Isolation in boardrooms where she was the token Latina. But here, in this greasy spoon, vulnerability bloomed. She pulled out her wallet not for payment, but to show a photo of Mia Fear, sighed at 10, clutching a soccer ball. She used to light up a room now. It's like I've lost her too. Jack nodded, his voice soft. Grief's a thief, steals pieces you don't get back. But Lily, she's my reminder small things keep you going. He ruffled his daughter's hair, and Elena felt a pang, the kind that whispers asterisk what if. Asterisk outside, the BMW idled, fixed not just mechanically, but with a spark of human connection. As they parted, Elena slipped a 50 into Lily's crayon box for art supplies, and Jack's protest died on grateful lips. Driving away, Elena glanced back, the diner's light haloing father and daughter like forgotten saints. Little did she know that meal had ignited a thread, pulling at the seams of two broken lives, but the real unraveling came the next morning. Elena, replaying the night, Googled mechanic Milford, Ohio expert BMW, and froze. A grainy article from 5 years back. Asterisk NASCAR star Jack Harlan vanishes after fatal crash. Asterisk the photo. Unmistakable, those eyes, that jaw, heart-pounding. She dialed the diner's number, but it went to voicemail. Asterisk, this changes everything. Asterisk, she thought. The kindness she'd extended now a key to a locked door. The sun rose over Milford like a hesitant promise, gilding the laundromat stairs where Jack and Lily ascended to their shoebox home. Last night's meal lingered like a dream, full bellies, laughter echoing off Formica, but dawn brought reality's bite. Bills piled on the rickety table, electric notice in red, Lily's school fees overdue. Jack brewed weak coffee, his mind replaying Elena's smile, a warmth he'd forgotten could exist. Poverty's grip tightened daily. He'd skipped his own meals to stretch the food stamps, lying to Lily about Daddy's diet. Grief compounded it. Nights when Sarah's laugh haunted him, or the anniversary of the crash sent him to the bottle, waking with shame. Isolation. It was the empty chair at parent-teacher conferences, the pitying nods from neighbors who remembered the billboards. Asterisk Harlan, the speed demon. Asterisk Lily bounced on the bed, clutching her crayon box. Look, Daddy, the nice lady gave us money for colors. Jack's throat tightened at the 50, enough for a week's groceries. A small act, but it cracked his armor, stirring hope's fragile ember. He hugged her fierce, whispering, people are good, kiddo, sometimes. Work called, a shift at the scrapyard, hauling metal that mocked his fallen glory. But as he loaded the truck, his phone buzzed. An unknown number. Jack, Elena, from the diner. I need to see you, please. Intrigue warred with wariness, but Lily's excited the pie lady, sealed it. They met at a park by the river, benches worn smooth by forgotten picnics. Elena arrived in jeans, no coat of armor. Mia in tow, the girl a mirror of her mother, arms crossed like shields. Tension hummed as Elena slid a printout across the table. The article, yellowed edges from frantic printing. Jack's face drained of color, the the past slamming into present like a spin-out. How? You fixed my car like it was breathing, Elena said, voice steady but eyes pleading. Those hands there from the track, Jack Harlan, the champion who disappeared after Sarah's accident. The world thought you were dead or running. Mia peeked at the photo, curiosity piercing her shell. Lily, sensing the storm, slipped her a drawing. 2 cars racing side by side, flags waving. Jack's shoulders slumped, the weight of untold years crashing down. The crash hadn't just taken Sarah, it shattered him. Paparazzi vultures, lawsuits from the other driver, sponsors demanding he man up, while he buried his wife. He'd vanished to protect Lily from the spotlight's glare, trading ovals for obscurity. I couldn't race anymore. Every turn reminded me, I failed her, failed us. Tears carved tracks through dust on his cheeks, raw grief spilling like oil from a ruptured line. Elena reached across, her hand on his, a bridge over isolation's chasm. You didn't fail, you survived for her. Mia, thawing, shared her own scar, Dad's abandonment after the divorce, leaving echoes of asterisk not enough. Asterisk Lily listened, then hugged Mia unbidden, whispering, my mommy's in heaven, but she sends birds to say hi. That touch ignited the circle. Elena, moved by Jack's quiet strength, confessed her own desperation, her business teetering on bankruptcy, Mia's therapy bills mounting. I thought kindness was a risk I couldn't afford, but you gave without asking. Jack, seeing his reflection in her struggles, offered more than words. From his truck, he pulled a box tools and a faded NASCAR jacket. There's a classic car show in the city next month. I could consult, fix engines for your events. Hi, Ollers love a story. Elena's eyes widened. Her catering gigs often featured vintage rides for flair. It was a lifeline, his expertise a hidden gem. Days blurred into weeks of tentative alliance. Jack taught me basic mechanics under the hood of Elena's BMW, her small hands steadying wrenches as laughter bridged their silences. Lily and Mia bonded over drawings, grief's shadows lifting in shared sunlight. Elena sponsored Lily's art class, a small generosity that bloomed into Jack's first paid gig, restoring a tycoon's vintage Mustang for a gala she catered. Whispers spread asterisk, the ghost mechanic asterisk, and offers trickled in, not races, but purpose. Jack resisted the pull of his past until a journalist, tipped by Elena, cornered him at the scrapyard. The world's missed you, Harlan. With Lily's nod, go fast again, Daddy. He agreed to one interview, reclaiming his narrative on his terms. Full circle spun at the car show, under stadium lights that echoed old glories. Jack unveiled the Mustang, Elena's trays of empanadas and sliders drawing crowds. Mia revved a mini-go cart, grinning for the first time in months, while Lily waved a checkered flag hand made from dish towels. As applause thundered, Jack pulled Elena aside, the river's murmur a soft underscore. You gave us dinner, we got a life. Their hands intertwined, not as saviors, but survivors' kindness weaving abandonment into belonging, poverty into potential. In that moment, grief didn't vanish, but it shared space with hope. Jack raced again, not for trophies, but charity laps raising funds for single parents. Elena's business soared, infused with his authenticity. Isolation, fractured by family forged in rain, slicked parking lots. Their story, splashed across headlines asterisk lost champion, found through a fix and a feast asterisk, rippled outward, a testament to compassion's quiet roar. As the checkered flag waves over lives once stalled, remember, in the pit stops of despair, a single act of kindness can realign your course, turning strangers into saviors and broken engines into beating hearts. Empathy isn't a finish line, it's the fuel that carries us all home. Moral of the story, in a world racing toward isolation, one selfless gesture can shift gears from survival to triumph, proving that true victory is measured not in speed, but in the connections we dare to make.